Alrighty, folks, let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Bojan Petreski. We're the Tradictive Technologies team here with the Trade with UFOs channel. July 27, 2021, doing the Futures Now session. Before we get started, the disclaimer is right there for you, for your use, your protection. Definitely take a look at it while I take a sip of my coffee. And we'll be getting started in just a few short minutes. Definitely take a look at it while I take a sip of my coffee. Alrighty, the disclaimer's out of the way. So let's take a look at the agenda for today. We're going to be looking at the current market environment and we're going to be executing some trades. We'll be looking for new opportunities. And then, of course, today is an intraday trade management day. So we're going to be looking for intraday trades and we're going to manage those trades. And, as we've seen before, they will most likely end within the session. Or if we're in profits, we're already going to know how to manage the trade, when to get out, and how to document it shortly after. All right. Oh, I just realized you probably heard me a little bit of a double. That's okay. I just caught that, so we should be good to go. All right, I'm just checking here on all of our different channels where we're broadcasting because, as you know, we are simulcasting. We got multiple places that we're streaming to, so just going through them to see if there's anything else that needs fixing, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So let's go ahead and open up our workspace. Alrighty. Feel free to say hi, say how you're doing, what's going on with you, how is trading going, um, and so on while we load up this chart. All right, everything seems to be looking okay from what I can see here. Alrighty, looks like we're good to go. So, okay, what are we looking for here? Well, we're looking for a couple of things here in this exact window. We are looking for a confirmed climate, meaning a red or a blue climate. That means it's confirmed. And we would prefer something to say near sensible short. If it says sensible short, that's okay too. We'll look at it as well eventually once we get through all the near sensibles. Um, and then ultimately, we're going to switch to see anything that's sensible short or sensible long if that climate is confirmed. As we're seeing right now, we have an interesting situation going on actually. RTY, the Russell, is a near sensible short on the 15, on the 60, and on the 240-minute time frames. So that's really rare, and the ATRs are all across the board about a quarter to a point 0.3 ATR. I'm going to go ahead and open up all three just to kind of have an idea and see which one might give us a potential entry. Okay, and there we go. Putting this up. It's opening all three workspaces. That's why it's taking a little bit longer. Alrighty, here we are. Chart trading enabled. That's why it sometimes gives us. Okay, so we gotta modify this one to the RTU. RTU 20. Okay, let's see here. Start with the 15. It's definitely nearby. Okay. All right, so 2200 even is the moving average, 2250, I guess, which is currently in the price here, but we do not have any UFOs there. I'm just going to quickly go through them just to make sure. On the 60-minute, we actually do have a UFO right here at 2201.20. So I'm going to just double check where this UFO starts. 2201.20. All right, I'm going to put my trade there at 2201.20 while I go ahead and explain why I'm putting the trade there. And how is the 60-minute looking? A similar situation here. So this is looking fairly good. Um, all right, so we gotta figure out why are we putting this trade where we are putting it. So the main thing is we have um, a confirmed climate. It is currently the first confirmed down candle out of typically 7 on the Russell. The reason why we're putting it there is number one, we have that climate confluence, so that's good. We have a moving average that's at 2201.50. That's coinciding with this UFO here. Sorry, with this UFO right here. So that's why we put our entry there. Now, where do we put our stop? Well, our stop has to go in the white space above any UFO. But of course, this UFO ends here, but that overlaps it with this UFO. So it's going to have to go somewhere around this, above this 2208 area. So let's go ahead and take a look. So 2208.70. So 2208. It's going to have to go to, let's right click that. So 2208.80 is going to have to be our stop. 2208.80. All right. Now, the same way that we put the stop up there, of course, our T1 is our 1-to-1, which is going to have to be the equal amount distance, right? 2208.80 minus 2201, oops, 27.6 points. So minus 2201.20, that's 2193.6 is our T1. 2193.6. Yes. Now for our T2, we're going to go ahead and blow up this 15-minute chart. I'm sorry, the 60-minute chart right here, and see what kind of UFOs we have down below. Interestingly enough, we don't have UFOs down below. Okay. Let me see if I can. We gotta have some. Let me see if I can load some more data back and see if we can find some. All right. While that's still loading, I'm just setting up here. The order is still in. Price is kind of inching up a little bit higher. Okay, that just loaded. Let's go ahead and enable the auto UFOs again. Wow, interestingly enough, we do not have any UFOs down below. We have quite a bit of trading, but apparently no unfilled orders down below. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to go ahead and revert this back to 500 candles back so we can save some computing power and leave it alone. Just reset that so it's nicely, clearly visible there. Oh man, really? It came 4 ticks away from filling, and look at that. It's already moving on lower. So we're gonna go ahead and cancel this trade here. I'm sorry, not the trade. This target here, because we only have a 1-to-1 that we can do. Anything after that, we're simply going to be trail stopping. So we'll go over that setup as it develops. It really would have been nice to be in this trade already right now. Obviously, it came so close again. This is the second wick. As you see, it did it once before, right before we started our session here. And then now right here came within a couple of ticks away from getting in on that moving average with the auto UFOs. And now watch something interesting that's also happening is that same UFO is on the 21 minute and on the 987 tick bar, right? So that's very, very, I would say it's great to see. It's rare do we get to see that, but it's awesome to see. Look at that. That's just across the board, same UFO, same climate. Um, it would be great to get in on this trade as it develops. Now, we're doing kind of like a multiple time frame analysis at the same time, so multiple time frame analyses, so to speak. Um, which if you're getting a little bit lost, I understand completely. Um, and that's sometimes how just to point things out. It's rare to see a scenario like this. That's why I wanted to point it out to everybody. Usually, the 15-minute will have its own little world. The 60-minute is going to have its own little thing, and then the 240-minute is going to have its own little thing. But it's absolutely rare to see all three. Well, at least the two big ones, the 60 and the 240, have a similar scenario. Um, so I just wanted to point that out to everybody. So maybe we were going to catch a pretty nice move down. If you were a little bit more aggressive, and maybe I should be too as well, actually, just to take a stab at this, I'm going to go ahead and go short here at 21.9920. So 21. So, and the reason why is I'm actually going in on this UFO right here, right? So this UFO starts at 21.199.10 actually. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my trade here again, 21.99.10. 21.99.10. There we are. All right. Now this one, obviously, we're only analyzing this setup here, the stop has to go above this 2208. 2208. So it has to be at 2209. Now, is our UFO in the white space? Yes, it is. Right? So we're good to go on that. So looking at the stop to entry distance, we're only looking at, I think it's, 1.8 minus 21.99.10. So 21.973 is T1. Man, I don't think this is gonna work anymore. And let's see, we do have a UFO here on the 15-minute time frame. So our final target will be at here 21.88.5. 21.88.5. All right. Now, if you're confused with seeing so many of these, you're gonna go ahead and cancel the upper one here. So it's gonna clear it up for you. I'm just keeping it there just because, just in case we get both of them, I would definitely not mind getting in on both. But for the purposes of just demonstrating the session, we're going to go in at one at a time. Okay, so we're going to see if this retraces. Hopefully it does, right? It kind of goes both ways when we're looking at these setups here. How it's going to look. But obviously, the best scenario here would have been to get in on this 21.01.20 and cruising on down to this 21.93.6 T1. As you see, it's only 2 points away from that 21 93.6. So, it would have been great to be on this trade on that first test of the wick. Sometimes that's just how life is. And actually, a new UFO has formed even on this 377 tick bar. Um, However, this one is just barely making the trade, mainly because the moving average at 22.6, as you see, this UFO ends at 22.8, so it's going to be more or less at the top of that UFO. So that's really not going to work out for us too well. Oops, I'm sorry about that. Off. Okay, so far, yeah. If only we caught this 2 minutes before we started the session, right? All right, let's take a look at something else here. We got the ESNQ. Everything's flashing near sensible YM, so we have plenty of opportunities here. Let's go ahead and open them all up and see where we're going to land. So we got crude oil, ES, we got NQ, and we have YM on the 15-minute. It's awesome to see all of these, potential setups, because sometimes, as if you've joined me before, sometimes we're literally just kind of hoping and praying for a setup, right? Nothing gets confirmed. Excuse me. There we go. All right. So what do we have here? The Dow 34,927. So this UFO would work. Price is a little bit far from it, and it's pretty much the same setup as the Russell. Okay. On the NQ, kind of the same, but just a giant UFO there. Okay, yep, similar thing. It's gonna be very similar on all of them, really, because they pretty much move hand in hand. As you see, just really big UFOs on the Nasdaq. ES, similar story. And then we have crude oil. I do want to see what's going on with our friend crude oil. 72.04, 71.93. Okay, it's currently at the moving average, so nothing's gonna really look like a setup there. I'm gonna keep it here just in case price moves so sharply down, like it's currently doing, and it creates a new UFO for us, so that we can get in on it. Because as you see right here, um, this is the first. It's already trading above the moving average though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass on that. If it does create a new UFO, yes, that would be great, but it's currently trading above the moving average. Um, and also at the top of this kind of, like, as you see, sideways range here that it's doing. So, we can hold on for a little bit longer, just take a look at it. Ideally speaking, though, yeah, this is probably pushing higher. Okay, RTY, our more aggressive UFO here at 21.9910 is still there. As you see, 21.9910 is the more aggressive entry. Um, and actually, there is even an entry here at this 21.97.3 area, um, which I kind of like better, the a little bit higher area. But we're gonna go ahead and see what's gonna happen here. Just kind of cruising through these, couple of these. The Nasdaq's just being very overextended. No, the Dow, I didn't fix this. Okay. very similar look, very similar feel to all of them. They're all kind of retracing from a sharp move down. Um, Now, if we were to look at earnings, I believe there's a few happening today. Okay, so on the 27th, we got 84 of them before the open. Um, most of them green, and I'm just looking at earnings whispers. Um, most of them green, couple of red, but mostly green. Yeah, yeah. So let's see what's going to happen. I also like it on the Russell that is such a round number, 2200. I did like I do like this higher one a little bit better, mainly because 2200 is such a nice round number that it might you may get in and then it goes up just to just above 2200, which is exactly where this one we're selling at, right? Where the upper sale is at 22012. So we're going to see what's going to happen. Looks like we might be getting filled here on this 15 minute, the 22, the 21.99.10. Okay, we may be getting filled on that one. Our stop is at 2209. There we go, two ticks away. The infamous two ticks from before, and so on. And hopefully, we do get on board this time around, though. And one tick away. Okay, I think we got filled. Yes, we're filled. Okay. Our stop, as I said, 22.9. Our T1 down below at 21.97.3. And our final target for this one was at 21.88.5. Okay. Now, something that we always do, and this is kind of beautiful that it filled when it filled right before the open. The most optimal scenario here would be to actually get one, two, three. Right? And let me just show you what I'm doing here. I'm a very visual type of guy. I think it's just easier that way, honestly speaking. Um, within this rectangle here, the purple rectangle here, we need to get our T1. We need to get our safety target within this purple rectangle here. It would be beautiful to get it before the rectangle because that's when the open is. So for this one, if it pushes higher, stops us out, it's fine. We do have an entry up above at what was it, 2201.20. So while that trade will be stopped out, um, we are going to still kind of keep the trade open on the Russell with the higher time frame. So if you want, that'll be a little bit of a taking quite a bit more risk, I would say. Instead of getting stopped out, you just move the stop to the one above. But again, that will be taking on another like 7 points of risk, which is not little when it comes to the Russell. Um, so just bear in mind that is a strategy that you could do, should you choose to. I just want to take a look at where did our crude oil go? YM is still holding down. Nasdaq's fallen off a cliff. ES is sticking to those lows. The Russell is showing a little bit of strength, but again, we have two UFOs here, even on the 240. multiple UFOs on the 60, and then of course the one UFO we got here on the um, 15-minute time frame climate. Guys, how's it going so far? I know it's a little bit more, I would say, advanced to an extent here today. Just let me know how's it going so far. If everything's looking good, say, hey, everything's looking good. If not, let me know. How's it looking? All right, so looks like we're getting a little close to that stop. Okay, pulled back almost instantly, which I think it probably hit one of the UFOs. It's still in a UFO on the 60 here. Yep, there's that stop. Um, so now let's see if we can get in on the upper one. There it is. So we're in on the upper trade. Now this one, as you saw, we have a little bit more leeway here, right? We got a couple UFOs there, a couple UFOs there, and then the 60-minute is just looking beautiful. Now, since this one already stopped us out, this is no longer in play. However, we are filled on, I believe the proper entry was it on the, I think it was on the 60, if I'm not, yeah, the 60. All right, so since technically we got filled here on the 60, we're gonna monitor this on the 8-minute here. So this is our fill, and we have vertical line, vertical line. So this is 1, 2, 3. So within this here, we need to get our T1. This right here. So it may seem like a lot, but again, keep in mind we're opening in about 2 minutes. Okay, so in about 2 minutes, we're gonna see some increased volatility kick in, um, and that's going to be awesome to see because we're in a trade and we have quite a bit of things stacked in our favor. So this is going to be, as I said, it's going to be pretty awesome to see, mainly because volume is going to kick in, a lot of volatility is going to kick in. Um, NQ and ES are showing a little bit more weakness than the Russell. Hopefully that follows right as we open, and we're going to see where it's going to take us. So 21.93.6. 93.6. There it is our T1. Okay, showing a little, quite the opposite, honestly, of the ES. Okay, the ES showing a little bit of strength now. So is the NQ. But again, they're all still in down climates, and we're about a few seconds away from the open to see what's going to happen. Dow showing weakness early on, pushing lower. NQ, there we go. We are off to the races. And how's our Russell trade doing? It is printing money. All right, we already have a new UFO up above here, 2203.11. I'm already gonna, because I do want to see this T1 get popped before I move my stop. This initial move would have been nice to get us out of that T1. Come on, Russell, you can do it. Few more ticks. And then we're going to take this T1 and just move it down to 2203.20. I'm just anticipating what's going to happen here. It's going to pop that T1, 21.96.5. Okay, there's T1. So we got to protect our profits. Move your stop to above 21.97, 21.97.5 is our stop right now. I'm just moving it here, 21.97.5. Come on, there it is. Why is it not moving? I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, make sure to move your stop to 21.97.5. You should already be out of the trade. I'm just gonna close it manually. I don't know why I have chart trading enabled. I don't know. I don't have chart trading enabled. Okay. So, anyways, this if you took the first one, I think it was like a loss of 180 bucks or something like that. Now this one made about 350, so you should be in the positive. All right. Again, that initial kicker. Oh my god! Look at the ES tanking. Um, all right. So yeah, we did have. Look at that volatility. My god, that's beautiful to see, isn't it? Let me know in the chat box what do you guys feel about that volatility. Right? I mean, if that doesn't get you excited for the day, I don't know what will. Um, now it's we're getting a little carried away here, but um, looking at this, we could realistically re-enter right here on this UFO because all of them are showing weakness. I mean, this is you know look at that, cliffs everywhere except for the Russell. The Russell is like, no, 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 hold on, I got some strength. I'll show you. Um, yeah, so that's kind of it. I guess maybe if we were a little aggressive with the stop moving, but I mean that's our plan, that's our scenario, that's our setup. If you think, hey, I left money on the table, what the heck, Bo? Um, Believe me, it's been back tested. You're not leaving money on the table. You're actually protecting money because as you see, this one was a T1 and right here at 21.93. And then over here was actually still in profit, right? We still ended up closing this in profit. Over here closed at 21.98, but you should have closed around 21.97.5. And the reason why I'm saying, um, oh, that's what it is. I had an error here that I didn't see. Yep, something was amiss. Sorry about that, guys. I did not see it as I kept trying to move the thing, wouldn't even let me select the window, and then ultimately it worked out. So, bum, 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 bum. Well, we're at the bottom of the hour here. We got our first trade under the belt. If you followed me on any of the public channels, you probably made some money. If not, then at least try to sim it so you kind of get the feel for it and see how things are moving. Um, but we were on the right side of the market this time. It did not go against us. Um, I'm not quite sure why the market is tanking so hard right now. Looking at the calendar here, um, you know, mostly green stuff from what I'm seeing. I mean, a couple of reds. But listen, that's what the market's interpreting, and that's what it is. We're not here to make analysis calls. We're here to trade the instruments what they're giving us. So, anyways, I'm switching over to our private channel, folks. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you can get access to the full remainder of the session. And while I do that, have a cup of coffee.